Hey, what up everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you. Today we're going to be doing a little in the past review of Survivor Series 2002. An awesome pay-per-view that I checked out the other day with my good old buddy, the RKO infamous NWO, Justin Subbrian himself. We watched this on Skype one night. We were bored. We were killing some time and you're saying, wow, why would you review a Survivor Series in this such a weird time? But this was the first Elimination Chamber match. Before it was its own pay-per-view, this was brought up by Eric Bischoff when they were going back and forth doing the gimmick of who had the better show, or he and Stephanie McMahon had a feud going back and forth where basically Stephanie had stolen Brock Lesnar and made him exclusive to SmackDown, so they were just sort of trying to top each other back and forth. So at the pay-per-view, he debuted the Elimination Chamber as a big way to show Stephanie McMahon to pretty much. Elimination Chamber match. This was always fun. This was crazy because of the one fact nobody really knew what this was going to be. We'd never seen this match. They'd shown us big nets of them building the cage. They'd seen stuff on Confidential on what the cage was going to be about, but Justin was telling me, like, when you tuned in and you watched Saturday Night Heat, Sunday Night Heat, which was like the pregame show on MTV, like that last 1 hour commercial to try to make you watch it, the free-for-all, if you will, where they had a match between Lance Storm and William Regal going up against Goldust and the Hurricane. They didn't even show the top of the arena because they didn't want to show you what the Elimination Chamber was. They wanted to make sure that you bought the show in order to get it. They didn't want anybody getting any free looks or anything like that. But the match started out itself with everybody coming down to the ring. Triple H and Rob Van Dam kicked off, and they were really going at it. They were going at it pretty good. We saw Van Dam throwing Triple H into the cage like probably 10 times in a row. So, Triple H was cut open and he was bloodied right after the bat. Everybody that was in this match, they had heat with Triple H. Everybody, had some sort of a feud. Nobody liked that Triple H was just handed the championship. Everybody felt that they, should have something to go along with it. Kane was pissed. Booker T was mad. Booker T would go on and he'd get his shot at WrestleMania 19, so his stock is still up on the rise. Jericho teamed with Triple H. He was the heel that was in there, but everybody knows that Jericho and Triple H don't really like each other. And Chris Jericho really had a potty mouth during this. He kept on yelling at the guys, kept on yelling at the crowd. Whole lot of cuss words from Chris Jericho. Really wasn't expecting that. I guess I'm used to the PG era Jericho where he doesn't really react to people the way like he used to, but that was really weird. But then again, this is coming off the end of the Attitude Era, and I guess people could say whatever they wanted to, and most people liked Jericho, so I guess if he cussed at him, that was one way to get some cheap heat here. I was wrong about the spot because I hadn't seen it in so long. When I did my top 5 Elimination Chamber moments of all time, I said it was near the ending of the match, but actually Van Dam comes off the top and crushes Triple H's larynx very, very early in this match. And you see Triple H sort of just lay there on the ground like he's dead, and he crawls to the outside to the point to where you don't even really know he's in this match anymore. But Booker T goes out there. He eliminates Rob Van Dam, and Van Dam's out of there pretty soon right after that. Jericho hits the Lion Salt, followed by a choke slam on Booker T. That pins him, and Booker T's out of there. And Kane just sort of disappeared from the match. I don't know how I missed it, but he was out of the match. Then it just came down to Jericho, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels. And there were so many times in this match that honestly Shawn Michaels could have been eliminated, but Jericho and Triple H honestly just couldn't get along. And just, I don't know. I'm yelling at the TV because, most of the time I'm cheering for the heels anyways. Even though this is a match from 10 years ago, I wanted Triple H to win it somehow. But, basically Jericho gets eliminated when they're going back and forth in a pretty cool spot, with all 3 guys connecting, and then just, it just ends up being Shawn Michaels versus Triple H. The match we all came to see. They're reliving SummerSlam 2002. There's so much of their, rivalry that's built back into this, where Triple H wants to be the guy. He wants to show that he's better than Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels wants to show that he came back for a reason, and he's always going to be the best there. Well, that's pretty bad to call him the best there is when you got Bret Hart going around. But you know, it's just awesome. You know that like Triple H came to no, other way around. Wasn't it Shawn came to Triple H? Yeah, Shawn came to Triple H, and he said he wanted to join up D-Generation X. That's when they had the mini reunion on Raw, and that's when Triple H gave him the pedigree, and it was basically on from there. And we saw Triple H do every wrong thing there is to Shawn Michaels, where he beat him up when he was in a wheelchair, and just, you know, this was the retribution. This was it. This was the big present on Christmas morning. This was Shawn Michaels in the Elimination Chamber, walking out as the World Heavyweight Champion. This was awesome. This was really good stuff. There was confetti flying everywhere. Madison Square Garden did it up right. This was an awesome show. I had one guy tweeting me on Twitter. It's going to take me too long to pull up what his name was. It was last night. I was tired. But he was telling me that his DVD is scratched and he can only watch the last 3 matches of the show. So he was saying this was actually going to be the first pay-per-view that he watches because it's one of his favorites to watch. So check this out on the network, everybody. Survivor Series 2002, the first Elimination Chamber.